Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 5. As mentioned, we will be talking about note taking for this week, Module 5. So, um, I hope you all enjoy this lecture. This is a very crucial topic given that we take notes for every lecture, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So, sample lecture. Please make sure to take out a piece of paper or have a piece of paper in front of you. And what you can do is just jot down some notes. Last week for Module 4, we talked about goal setting. So if you can just write down some notes in terms of what you thought the lecture was about. Okay, and I'll give you a minute or so. Keep in mind that you want to talk about long-term and short-term goals. Okay, I want you all just to have an idea in terms of how you're taking notes. And we're going to talk about the efficient way of taking notes. Keep in mind that we all have different styles, but we want to go over some styles that perhaps may be beneficial for you. Okay, so let's go ahead to the next one. And this is note taking for some students. I know I used to do it. My note taking skills were all over the place. So it does take some time and organization skills. As you can see, I also jot down certain things or just I abbreviate certain things that only I can understand, right? Because it's my writing, it's my method of remembering things. Like I mentioned, we all have different note-taking styles, but we're going to talk about a few. So how to take notes. Okay, so keep in mind that for note-taking, you will review your notes, right? Unless you share your notes with someone else, but predominantly is for you to look at and for you to look over. Okay, so why should you take notes in class? So it helps us concentrate in class. It helps you identify the core and important ideas in lecture. Taking notes develop a sense of listening, allowing the reader to organize the main ideas. So this is, once again, you're the listener. You want to report this information back to your notes. Okay, notes are actually contain very important information, right? That perhaps you may not find somewhere else. The notes given in lecture, it's coming from the instructor. Okay, so notes are often valuable clues of what the instructor thinks it's important. And you see that many times when instructors say, make sure everything that I write down on the board, you write down with you. So those are certain clues that you do want to keep an eye out. Permanent record that will help you learn and remember later. Helps prepare for the exam and quizzes. And then class assignments are usually given in lecture. Okay, so preparation before class. So you want to arrive to class on time, sit in front of the room as close as possible to eliminate distractions, right? So you have heard that students that sit towards the back of the class tend to get more distracted versus students that sit in front of the class. Check the course outline and see listed topics or ideas. Convert these into questions. Be sure to read all assigned readings before coming to class. Make a list of questions from the readings that perhaps you can ask the instructor during class. And review text assignments from previous notes. So once again, you want to refer back to your notes. If you took notes from week 1 going on to week 2, keep in mind this is what an outline is, right? And you have the syllabus available to you. I uploaded it to our announcement, so you have that available to you as well, okay? All right. Taking notes in class. So having paper highlighters and a pencil or pen ready. I typically take notes with pencil because I can erase certain things, but some people, students, choose to do it with pen, which is perfectly fine, whatever your style is. Make sure to attend the entire class. You want to be there from start to finish because you don't want to miss something that perhaps you can take down as your notes that may not be in the textbook, okay, or something posted online. Copy everything that the instructor writes on the board, especially the outline. Be an active listener. Pay attention to the instructor's verbal cues. Their choice of words might indicate the important information. For example, when a professor or instructor says, most importantly, the results are, finally, etc. So you want to keep an ear out, right, in terms of what clues you can hear from the instructor. Use your own words to summarize what the instructor is saying. Perhaps you might have your own short cues, and once again, you're going to review these notes. So these notes are for your purposes. So whatever works for you, then I suggest go for it. Be in the here and now, even if you disagree. Make sure that you take into account the different points the instructor is making, even if you don't agree with them. Okay, so this is modify and outline method. This is one style of note-taking, traditional format. You will start with the title, kind of a brief title or summarize what the notes are about, and then you create an outline. So for example, with this notes example is body language, then it moves on to A, which is movement, then you jot down what movements are. B, facial expressions, which is smile and appear relaxed and friendly. C, gestures, once again you jot down 1 through 5. And D, posture 1, 2, 3. So this is an example that is an outlined. So during the lecture, modify outline. There is the Cornell method, and I will show you an example on the next slide. We're told for this method, you want to leave a 2-inch margin on the left-hand side of the paper. Use the indentation format, so that's where you're going to write the main ideas in the margins, indent support ideas. Abbreviate, summarize, and then leave space just in case you missed something. So keep that in mind. You do want to leave some spaces between your notes because you might want to add something that perhaps you missed during lecture that you read on the textbook. And this is what I was referring to in terms of Cornell method. This is one of the most popular methods to take notes. Like I said, on the left-hand side, leaving that room of 2 inches. That's where you take your notes on the right-hand side, and on the bottom of the page, that's where you leave a space so you can write down the information that you need to review after class. During the lecture, so divide your paper into 3 different sections. Use a large box to write the notes. Review and clarify, so pull out the main ideas, key points, dates, people, write on the left-hand side. You can also use to write the questions that will help you study for the future or ask the instructor. And then summarize, right? You're summarizing in the bottom of the page some things that perhaps the main ideas. So pay attention, once again, to signal words. For example, some common ones are these 3 reasons why, first, second, third, most important, on the other hand, and for example. So write a little faster, so use abbreviations or symbols that you can record the information. These are some examples. They are pretty straightforward and also very popular to use, right? So with, without, page, percentages, versus, etc. These are cues that will help you write faster within your notes. After lecture, and going back to the last slide, let me go back. There is a sheet that I'm going to attach in this same page with the lecture, and on there's going to be certain cues. There's multiple ones, and this will give you a great idea on what kind of cues or symbols you can use. Okay, so make sure to click on the attachment. Okay, so after the lecture, review your notes as quickly as possible. Rewrite your notes after lecture, just in case you need to rewrite something that perhaps you didn't understand or you didn't write it properly. Edit, fill in the missing information. This is why I mentioned leaving some space in between, and then expand where needed, of course. So write down main ideas, key points, keywords in the recall column. Add memory devices in the recall column, which are some of the things that I went over, also highlighting. Quiz yourself daily on the recall column. Be sure your recall column is meaningful and clear to you for 3 months after even you created it. Use different color pens for questions. Review the notes before the next lecture. So what if I get lost? So you're more than welcome to raise your hand and ask the instructor to repeat something that perhaps you missed or did not understand. Ask the instructor to slow down. Leave a blank space and question marks in the notes. Meet with the instructor after class. Form note-taking groups. Do not disturb classmates during lecture. Keep in mind they are also concentrating on their notes. Rehearse your note skills at home or after class, or you can even record based off the instructor's permission, and on the next slide I'll let you know some of the ones that are available. Here we go. So note-taking apps. You can use Evernote, OneNote, Google Keep. These are for you to help you in your note-taking skills. Also, you're more than welcome to record lectures. You just need to make sure to ask the instructor if they allow it. And also in class, right now, because we're online, or you can also ask the instructor in person or face-to-face if you can take pictures of certain slides. And the majority of them would say yes. Okay, so practice makes perfect. Make sure you practice as much as you can. These were a couple of methods that you can use for note-taking. Even if perhaps you don't use those methods, I hope this lecture gave you an idea in terms of what kind of key terms or ideas that you can use to better your notes. And please make sure to enter the discussion board. You can share what you learn and also your note-taking skills that perhaps can help others. Keep in mind you need to post in the discussion, and you also have to reply to 2 peers. And please let me know if you have any questions. You're more than welcome to email me or even post within the discussion board. Thank you, and please make sure to check the attachment I'm going to include with the abbreviated keywords. Have a good one.